Well, went to the Pride Parade in Manhattan today. Just a hot skip and a jump from here. Jump on the Mile Railroad and you're there. You had to do quite a bit of walking because all the streets are closed and it doesn't pay to get into a taxi or anything like that. Uh, it's just a virtual parking lot, you know. So you got to walk. But had a good time for a lot of people. A lot of people brings out the people. Pride Parade is something else. You don't see that anywhere else, and the size of it, the magnitude of it, the all-encompassing, you just don't see it. Other towns, they try to emulate, but they don't touch it. Uh, and it's a shame. The reason I'm making the video is because a lot of pride parades have been shut down. They play with games with them. They plan the whole parade for a certain day. It takes a year. They use a year to come up with the plan uh, for the parade, and then at the last minute they say you can't do it. The venue's been changed. Uh, to have a conflicting uh, scheduling conflict, and they do it on purpose. It's not by accident. They're doing it on purpose. I think straight people, really the ones that hate gay people the most, are gay people. They're just in the closet, you know. So, uh, and they don't like it when people are out of the closet. They want those are the ones who want everybody to go back in the closet. Go back in the closet. I feel better because then you're doing what I'm doing, and that's what they want. That's what everybody wants you to do. Do what they do, you know. So you're showing them that they don't have to do what they're doing, and you're showing them that uh, there's another way, and they don't want to even venture. They're too afraid. I mean, some of these guys, they dream of putting on a dress and walking around in a dress, but they wouldn't even put one on in their bathroom because someone might open the door and see them. And they're pure cowards. They're just pure cowards. And, most of the world problems that we have are because of cowards. Even Trump is a coward. Trump isn't a man. Trump has a Secret Service. So if he's tough, it's because he has a Secret Service. But he's like the biggest pussy in the world. And, he talks big, but talk is talk. You don't walk the walk. And, and he's probably gay. So, you know, and it's funny, he's from New York and bred and born in New York, and he attacks gays. And, you know, uh, it's just unbelievable. It's not unbelievable when you talk about him. On the other scale, it's other little towns, in rural America. They aren't they aren't the village of New York, And the village of New York, even though progressive it's become, and how much groundbreaking things and gay marriage and all that stuff, they're still chipping away at it. It's like gay right. It's like abortion rights. They had abortion rights and they lost them. Well, they want the same plan for the gay marriage and gay rights. They don't want anybody to have gay rights, and you know, and it's wrong. Everybody should have rights to be who they want to be, and no president, no Congress, or no Supreme Court should tell them they can't. You know, they don't have that right. It's not in the Constitution. They try to act like it is, but it's not. That's why they had abortion for so many years, because it's not in the Constitution. They rig, they stack the court with illegal people, with an illegal nomination. Obama should have had a nomination that he didn't get, and that was, in my eyes, illegal. But they got away with it. But they're not going to get away with this. It's just the thing, You think they got away with? You think they got away with abortion and all that, but they didn't. Right now, it's in their favor, but it's not going to stay that way. They're gonna reap terrible consequences for what they did and what they're doing. You know, the Trump presidency it's like Hitler. Hitler was good for Germany for a little bit. You know, he brought power back to Germany. He brought respect in his eyes back to Germany. But Germany is so scared of ever going back to another Hitler. And if any president of Germany ever revealed himself to be the next Hitler in Germany, then he would be kicked out of office in the New York Minute. Well, the next president that tries to be like a Trump is going to be kicked out of office in the New York Minute. And they're screwing themselves by being so overtly obnoxious, and what they're doing with the immigration, the medical. I mean, the list goes on and on. They're attacking everything, and all those things are going to come back and be even stronger, even better. And it just takes time, you know. You got to let him destroy it and let him show his true colors. He's done. You know, he's done that already. And the midterms are going to be his deciding factor. And like I always said, they're gonna use the 25th Amendment to get rid of him, so they can implant somebody that doesn't have all these problems. And it's going to be 2 years of impeachment if they don't. And you know, so it's just they're cooking their own goose. You know, you don't shoot the golden goose. Well, they did. So you know, it's just it just shows how stupid they are. You know, and how short-sighted, and how they want it now. They want it now. You know, and they'll do anything to get it now. But they don't keep it. You know, the Nazis wanted Germany now when they had it. They wanted the whole of Europe, but they lost it, and they'll never get it back again. So, and anything they do in going in that direction gets rebuked very fastly. You know, and their chances are slim to none. You know, and they're doing it here. The Nazis are here. They're the Republican Party, uh, and they're finding it's not so easy, and we're not so stupid, and we're not going to just hand over the country to you. And if you're a billionaire, you know what you got? You got a lot of paper. You got a lot of paper. And the more you keep doing what you're doing, it's not going to be worth the paper it's written on. You're cooking your own goose too. Billionaires are cooking their own goose. They're greedy and they're selfish, and it's going to come back to bite them in a very bad way. They're going to say, "How did I get here?" And all we can say is, "You put yourself there. You got what you deserve." And same with Trump, same with the Republicans. They're going to get what they deserve. And there's no going back for them. It is what it is, and it's not going to change. But we'll see.